Hey, what up y'all? This is Cam from Everyday People and we are back with another video. Thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time, on Everyday People we talk about a little bit of everything when it comes to finances, personal finances. We also talk about music, current events. We talk about a little bit of everything on this channel, so we're trying to build a community of people so that we can equip people to make ourselves better every day. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So today we're talking about more ways that you are hurting your budget. So in this video, we're going to go over 5 more ways and how you're hurting your budget. So the first way, not auditing your recurring expenses. Recurring expenses is such a huge part of the budget itself. So when you don't audit your recurring expenses, first of all, you could end up overpaying for pretty much any and everything. It's easy to fall into the trap of paying for subscriptions, memberships, or utilities without regularly checking if the price is still aligned with what you need. Providers often change their rates, and new options may become available. Sometimes you'll be paying for more than you actually need. And a lot of times you could miss out on potential savings as well. So by not auditing your recurring expenses, you might overlook opportunities to negotiate better deals or switch to something that's more cost effective. Small adjustments to your bills can add up significantly over time. Also, not auditing your recurring expenses doesn't allow you to align your spending with your priorities as your needs and goals evolve, which they usually do. So by neglecting to audit, you may be allocating money towards services or subscriptions that you no longer need or find value or even use in the first place. Okay, so now that we know how not auditing recurring expenses affects us, let's talk about a few ways to mitigate this and take back control. First, we can create a comprehensive list of all your recurring expenses. Go through bank statements, credit card bills, and online accounts to identify every regular payment you make. Okay, this is going to be where you start. Next, you're going to evaluate the value that you receive from each expense. Ask yourself, am I truly getting my money's worth? Do I really need this? And start researching competitive rates, compare prices, and really just consider if there's something else that's more affordable. And don't be afraid to negotiate with service providers. You may be able to get a better price. You want to revisit this list every few months or at least once a year. This is going to help you stay more proactive rather than reactive and manage your expenses. Now, the second way that you are hurting your budget is you're actually continuing the same spending habits, the same bad spending habits that you had before. Our spending habits play a crucial role in shaping our financial well-being. But if we just continue on with the same negative spending habits, it can have a bad effect on our budget. Also, your negative spending habits are going to really hurt your chances of being able to save or invest. Every dollar spent on unnecessary items or instant gratification could be a missed opportunity to grow your savings or invest for the future. So if you continue these negative spending habits, you're just preventing yourself from building wealth and achieving your financial goals. Also, bad spending habits usually creates a lot of stress and anxiety. So constantly just worrying about money, living paycheck to paycheck, the feeling of that financial burden usually just at some point is going to take a toll on your overall well-being. So let's talk about a few ways you can keep utilizing good habits so that you can have a better budget. So what's best to do is identify some of these negative spending habits that you have. Understand the emotional or the situational factors that lead to impulse buying or excessive spending. Is it stress, boredom? Did you just get out of a bad relationship and now it's retail therapy? Whatever it is best to identify it. That way you can tackle it head on. And you'll be able to also find other healthy ways to deal with them. You think, do I really need that right now? Is it going to hurt if I go a week or a month without it? Is my life going to change? Is this something that I need to have right now? Most of the time, the answer is no. Challenge yourself to wait a certain period of time, like a day, a week, a month, before buying those things. What you'll probably find is the longer you go without actually buying it, you're probably going to want it less and less, to the point where you're probably not going to want it at all. You'll find that as time goes, that desire for what you thought you needed in that moment is going to fade. And then you can actually take that money, use that towards something else like saving, building up that emergency fund. You can invest more. Maybe you can even give more. Or maybe you can pay off debt a lot faster. What you need to do is create a realistic budget to track all your expenses and your income. Also, practice mindful spending and develop a habit of delayed gratification. Also, you should seek support and accountability. You want to surround yourself with like-minded people who are focused on their financial well-being as well, just like you are. The people you keep around you, especially during something like this, is absolutely crucial. You need to have people around you that are financially savvy, or at least trying to get more financially savvy, that's heading in the right direction. Join some online communities. You should attend financial workshops. Even work with a financial coach or a financial professional if you can. But having that support and that guidance is going to be crucial when it comes to breaking those negative habits and making sure you're getting closer to your goals. The fourth way you are hurting your budget is you're planning to save after you spend. Saving is huge, especially if you're trying to build your emergency fund, stash away for rainy days. Saving is huge. But the common practice of planning to save after you spend can really mess up your goals. It can really mess up your progress. It's something that a lot of us do, but we really need to think about things in a different way. See, when you plan to save after you spend, most of the time you're not going to be left with much. When we prioritize spending and then aim to save after that, we just get with whatever's left over. So we're essentially treating the savings as an afterthought. So this mindset usually doesn't leave us with any savings left over, barely any at all. Also, it's going to become a lot harder to resist the impulsive purchases and really unnecessary expenses. So if we have this, spend first mentality, we're going to be more likely to give in to the impulse buying and really just justify unnecessary spending when really we don't need it. So this usually leaves us with a lot less money available for spending or investing. It just pushes your goals further down the road. Planning to save after you spend also hurts your financial growth. So if you're going to wait to the end to allocate funds for savings, most of the time you're going to miss out on the chance to capitalize on that compounding interest, that investment growth, or other wealth building strategies that people use to build generational wealth. Now, this may mean a lifestyle change. This may mean you don't get to spend money on shopping as much as you would normally do before. This may mean you don't go out as much as before, because now saving is the new goal and saving becomes your new habit. So with that, a lifestyle change usually does come, but you're going to thank your future self. Especially if you don't have an emergency fund already set aside, this is a habit you definitely will make. Remember that emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of expenses set aside in a bank account in cash. Now you're going to create a budget that incorporates your savings as a goal. So determine how much you want to save each month. You're going to make that a part of your budgeting process. So you can assign specific amounts to different categories, including savings, and then also track that progress regularly. Another thing you can do is you can automate your savings. So you can set up your direct deposit from your paycheck, set up a certain amount or percentage to go straight into your savings account every paycheck, every month, so that way you don't think about it. You can set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account on a regular basis, but by automating this process, you're going to remove the temptation to spend the money before it even reaches your savings account in the first place. And the last way you are hurting your budget is you're spending your emergency funds on things that are not an emergency. I get it. We've all done it. I've done it. I've done it plenty of times. You got money set aside for an emergency, something else comes up you want to do, a concert, go out with friends, whatever the case is, go to the movies, go on vacation, whatever the case is, and you got a nice emergency fund set aside, so you dip into that. And then a real emergency comes, and then you realize how much you actually hurt yourself. I know it's hard, I know it's a struggle, but if you keep doing that, you'll just never get out of the cycle of financial dependency. So what you want to do is you want to first establish clear criteria for yourself and really just define for you what constitutes as an emergency in the first place. So you want to determine specific scenarios that warrant tapping into your emergency fund, such as medical emergencies, job loss is probably one of the most common, car repairs that you didn't see coming. What you can also do is you can create a separate savings account for non-emergency expenses. So by having a separate account dedicated to just non-emergency expenses, it's going to be easier if you have the mindset to use that for saving for retirement or saving for any other financial goal or a dream home or whatever the case is, but leaving the emergency fund for the strict criteria that you had already set that apart for. Also keep in mind, build a budget to where you include saving categories for non-emergency expenses. Usually by allocating funds towards goals like this, you're going to be more likely to avoid using your emergency funds more impulsively. So you want to treat these goals with the same importance as your emergency fund to maintain a good amount of financial discipline. So there you have it. We talked about 5 more ways you're hurting your budget and also ways to overcome that. Please let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions or any video topics you want me to do. Remember, we're building a community of people so we can strengthen each other and empower each other with the knowledge and the information they need to make better decisions and live better lives. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. Until next time, see you all in the next video.